should we start off with some questions?
Sure.
Who's your least favorite white person?
I'm assuming you're speaking female now. Lena Dunham.
Oh my God.
Lena. I thought you were going to say Taylor Swift.
She's not really a feminist. She don't count. Just count because of the mic. She don't really count, I don't think.
Why doesn't Taylor Swift count as a feminist?
I don't think that she's a real feminist. Yeah, she's just out here like pretending to be, a feminist so that she can make money. Because she realizes like the way that you make money now is by being like left-wing, progressive and woke. So if you aren't, people are going to be on your Twitter and Instagramming like, why are you not speaking about this?
But I don't think she's left-wing at all. I think she's quite right.
I don't know. Like, she's anti-abortion laws and like stuff like that. Like, she's pro-choice.
Yeah.
And she believes in gay people's existence. Remember, she made that video?
But I feel like that is just a result of her being born in this generation.
Kind of, but did you watch the Miss Americana documentary?
Some of it, yeah.
She don't care about nothing. She only started doing stuff when she was 29 years of age.
Yeah.
Then she was like, I need to use my platform.
Better that than not using a platform, though.
I don't feel like celebrities need to use their platform at all. Like, don't talk, it's fine. I don't need your opinion.
But what's the alternative? They don't speak out about things and then they just slide under the radar. Would you rather have politicians speak?
Yeah.
But it's not like they're saying anything that lands true either.
But it's not like Taylor Swift says anything like revolutionary either.
That's true, but I suppose for the things she does speak about, kind of controversies aside, LGBTQ plus community.
All she did was make a music video for that.
Which music video is it?
Don't step on my crown or my gown.
You
need to calm down.
Is that the actual lyric?
Yeah, you need to calm down.
What
You're
does it
stepping
have
on
to
my
do
gown.
about gay rights?
I don't know. But she said, I'm starting the revolution and I care about gay people. And I don't know what you guys have been doing this whole entire time, but now I'm caring about gay people and I'm starting the revolution by making this music video.
I feel like we need to just eradicate yes queen politics from
I agree.
gay culture.
Why do you hate Lena Dunham though?
I think that Lena was important for her time in the sense that she introduced us to a type of feminism that wasn't necessarily prevalent at the time.
What type of feminism was that?
I guess it was just like ugly girls have rights too. Body positivity and mental health is important. It's important, it is, but like I think her delivery was just so wrong in hindsight. And also it was very me.
Yes.
By the way, feminism.
Yeah, completely. I also feel like it was very like middle class bourgeois feminism.
Yeah.
Because like that shit's not radical or revolutionary in any way. Which is like my main criticism of feminism today, is that it focuses mainly on like the elites. Like the only time you hear conversations about feminism is when like white actresses are complaining about how they don't get paid enough. They don't get paid the same amount as their white men counterparts. And it's like, okay, Scarlett Johansson, that's all nice and all.
Why'd you go for Scarlett?
Because she was the one opening a pic about this.
This is true, yeah.
She was like, I'm not getting paid as much as the boys. And it was like, fair, but then don't invoke feminism in this argument because you didn't talk about feminism ever once before.
And to be fair, I mean, she doesn't even, now she has her own Marvel movie, but she didn't have her own Marvel movie. She didn't earn as much as them because she wasn't as relevant as they were.
Yeah.
But I mean, there is something to be said about the gender wage gap.
For sure, but I just don't want to hear it from I just don't want to hear it from the elites. Like, I don't want to hear how a person, like, this is something that Angela Davis speaks about a lot. She's like, you're talking about breaking through the glass ceiling means that you're already close to the glass.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be fighting for you to break through a ceiling when you're so close. Like, you are not the priority. And the thing is, like, all of these white girls talking about how, they treated so unfairly in the industry, blah, blah, and they keep going on about this shit, and it's like, you invoke feminism when you talk about your own shit, but then when it comes down to talking about the workers' rights
Yeah.
and women that are the most marginalized, then you have nothing to say, and that's embarrassing.
But I think again, it speaks to personal politics. People can't speak on their own on things they don't experience. And I think actresses in general, they come from middle class, so they don't know what it's like to be, I guess, in the struggling classes. So they can say, "Oh, I know about this." Similarly, I think, did you see that rant that Tandy Newton had recently?
About not being black enough.
About not being black enough. I mean, it's so tone deaf because she can only
Yeah.
speak from a light skin perspective.
I also think that was a bit silly because, like, why are you apologizing for your blackness? Like, you black. You still
Yeah.
black. Just because you light skin doesn't make you any less black.
But I think in America there's like degrees to it, and I mean there is something to be said about colorism politics in the USA specifically. Like even here in South Africa, there are degrees. You get your colors and you get black people, and then you get whites, and then there are some people who are honorary white.
Yeah.
Like especially in our community, like if you're more fairer on complexion,
Yeah.
you're just treated better.
Yeah, but I think our politics and, like, our history was different in the sense that we were segregated according to color. Like, it
Yeah.
was black people, colored people, Indian people, white people.
Yeah.
There were degrees of blackness, and there was legislation around that kind of blackness. Like, Indian people were allowed to vote and colored people were allowed to vote in the tricameral parliament shit. And so those racial lines were drawn for a specific reason. Whereas in America, their history of slavery and, like, segregation, it didn't have that. You were black. If you were light skinned,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. You're still not white.
Everything anti-white was just black there.
Yeah.
Well, not anti, but anything not white was black.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I don't really understand her need to apologize for being a black woman, but being a lighter skin tone. That's just me, though.
People should in general just stop apologizing for their circumstances, because we don't need apologies from
Yeah.
people. We need action, and we need like affirmative stances. That's the bottom line. Don't
Yeah.
apologize. We don't need apologies.
And this is my thing about all of this shit. It happens at the very top. It happens with, like, the elites. Like, what does it matter? What does it actually matter? Whether or not Tandy Newton is paid more than, like, a dark-skinned actress, when there is a massive amount of poor black women in America suffering.
But I think it shines a light on these politics, and it starts a conversation. So it matters in the long run, because now
Do you think it trickles down?
I don't think it trickles down, but people won't be too comfortable doing it again if it gets talkativity the first time around. You know?
Yeah.
You watched Batman yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Did you see how terribly they did that woman's makeup, the black senator?
Yeah.
It was a hate crime. It was an honest hate crime.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
I mean, they gave
Wasn't
Zoe
great.
Kravitz glitter eyeliner.
Yeah, she was out here looking like Alexa Demi. She was looking like she was ready to do
But
drugs in
and I
Euphoria.
mean, she's fairly light skinned, I suppose, compared to that senator. And I'm like, where was the same energy for that girl?
Yeah. It's orcs.
It is orcs.
But the other like celebrity feminist bullshit was like Emily Ratajkowski, where she didn't have ownership rights of her photos, and then she had like a whole lawsuit. I don't know, but then she got ownership rights of her photos, and that was like
To
such
what end?
because she now owns her body and her images of her in a bikini. And this was a win for feminism. I was like, nobody
That's
gives
not a
a
win.
fuck. Nobody cares. Like, that doesn't affect the most marginalized women.
Yeah, like look at Pornhub. Do you know how hard it is to get like rape porn off Pornhub?
Rape porn.
Yes, there's an actual niche market for that. So like, all good and well for Emirati to now get her pictures. It's really great win for you. But what about all of the other marginalized communities in the world,
Yeah.
struggling to get this content offline.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a win for everybody else, it's just a win for her.
Exactly. This is my thing. Like, all of the noise that gets made for celebrities, specifically white celebrities, it doesn't trickle down to anybody else.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you saw the latest Victoria's Secret campaign.
Oh, I don't really care for Victoria's Secret campaigns in general.
So basically, they were given quite a lot of flack for not including plus size women and diversity, because like everybody that's in the show is basically skinny and white.
Yeah.
So now they have like a whole campaign where it's a whole bunch of different women, brown women and black women.
Yeah.
And there was a disabled woman and a trans woman, all good and well. Meantime, the CEO of the fucking company is a pedophile that helped Jeffrey Epstein to sex traffic underage girls.
Yeah, just defund them in general. Like,
So now, how does your like image of diversity help those girls?
but I also just, it really annoys me. It's not a win if somebody peer pressured you and bullied you into being more inclusive.
Yeah.
That just means that they put the pressure on, it got hot for you, and you're like, okay, this is going to be a good move for
Yeah.
our branding in general. That wasn't an independent decision
Yeah.
of your own.
Yeah.
Like with Rihanna, she started off saying Fenty is going to be inclusive, and that was the mandate all the way through. You
Yeah.
can tell that she purposefully created for different
Yeah.
ethnicities, bodies, types across the board.
Yeah.
But Victoria's Secret, we know their target market. They're
Yeah.
only expanding now because it's the smart business
Exactly.
position to take.
That's why when all of these people come out using politics as like a justification for you to buy their cuck, it's so embarrassing.
Just say buy it.
Yeah, just tell me honestly, you want me to buy your stuff,
Yeah.
and if it's nice, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
You don't have to force it down my throat.
No, International Women's Day is next week. And I know. And I feel like, and I know because, like I said this week, I was tasked to write something about buying watches and bringing in like a feminist hashtag. And I'm thinking to myself, what does this have to do with the liberation of women and women's rights?
Absolutely fuck all.
Nothing at all.
Yeah.
And that's what feminism actually has become. Just a selling point, a bottom line.
Yeah. When a movement becomes co-opted by the capitalist system, there's no revolution in that.
No.
There's absolutely no revolution. When Nike comes and has like Colin Kaepernick, it's like, okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you watched, there was like a special episode of Euphoria where,
Recently.
no, it was like during COVID.
Oh, yes. No,
Yeah.
I haven't watched that one yet.
So Ali is like speaking to Rue in like this diner. Like the whole episode is just the two of them talking. And he says like he goes into this Nike store and it says Black Lives Matter. And he goes in there and he feels like, yeah, fuck, Nike cares about me. They care about me as a black man.
But isn't Nike Israeli owned?
I don't know. But then he says like he picks up a pair of shoes and he sees the price tag and he's like, what the fuck? You don't care about me.
No.
Not with this price tag.
No.
And
People are creating, it's a very smart marketing tactic.
It is.
They're creating inclusive campaigns and getting like the popularity vote. But as far as that, like activism, that's where it ends. Like that's the bottom line. Did you see how expensive the Nike hijab is? It's super expensive.
The thing that you just...
You know the swimming cap thing?
Yes,
It looks
yes,
like
yes.
a swimming cap, but
Yeah,
it's not.
yeah.
It's very expensive.
How much is it?
I think it's like 180, isn't it?
Hey.
Yeah.
No, guys, don't be silly.
And it's lycra with a tick.
Stop being silly now. This is taken away from small aunties in...
Gatesville.
Yeah, they've been doing this, Nike.
I hope they rip that off.
Yeah, no, they probably will. They probably
must.
will.
It's what they do.
Yeah. But yeah, like Ben and Jerry's is also like a good example of a company that has stuck to their guns for like the longest time. The two people that
The
own...
ice cream people.
Yeah. Those two folks that own Ben and Jerry's, they've like been woke since like the 60s.
What?
Yeah. They're like completely anti-Israel. They say they're not going to be selling...
Yes.
Yeah, they're no longer selling their ice cream in Israel. And they didn't even say Israel. They said the occupied territories.
Yeah.
I said, lekker.
I love me a political ice cream.
But now we don't even get it here, so that's unfair.
Third world country love.
Yeah. But yeah, like fuck elitist feminism. I'm so over it. I'm so over it.
Fuck feminism in general, actually. I feel like
Yeah.
it's just become a very easy cop-out to say, oh, I feel liberated. But, like, are you really liberated when people of the same color aren't?
Yeah.
Are still
Exactly.
living in systems of oppression.
Yeah. And the fact that the feminist movement has been reduced to like arguing about beauty standards and body positivity, it works on my nerves because the whole point is that we draw attention away from the way that we look, and it's about the systemic issues that affect us.
Yeah.
And now, like, Ashley Graham is out here being like, I'm plus size,
Yeah.
and I'm fighting for plus size women.
Which
and
is all
then
great and all, but, like, it's in the grand scheme.
nobody cares that you.
There are women being sold into sex trafficking
Yeah.
regardless of their
Nobody cares that
size.
you, a plus size woman who's making like millions of dollars,
Yeah.
can't find clothes that fit you. One of her complaints was like, I always have to get my clothing tailored.
At least you can pay to have that shit tailored.
Exactly. And that's not important. Nobody cares about that. Do you think the women in like Steenberg and Hanover Park and Menenberg and fucking Langa, all of those women are like, wow, I'm watching Ashley Graham become so empowered by her new fashion line. But I'm stuck in an abusive cycle. But go Ashley Graham. Nobody
But
cares.
have you seen Precious though?
I haven't actually.
Oh my gosh, that's a difficult watch. Yeah. So it's obviously, you know who Precious is. She's a dark-skinned, I wouldn't even say plus size, but like an obese woman living in the US. And it tells the story of how black bigger women are just marginalized. So I think it is an important conversation to have, especially because, I don't know if you know this, but if you have PCOS and you're overweight, they advise you to lose that weight. Certain birth controls, certain procedures, you're told to lose your weight. So, I mean, the plus size community and the body positive community have some merit, but
Yeah.
it's not a feminist.
Yeah.
It's not a feminist conversation.
Yeah.
It's a personal image conversation.
Yeah. And then
And it affects men too.
yeah.
But I don't really care about men's rights, to be honest. I don't.
But that's like my thing about all of this shit. It's like body positivity it's not something that appeals to me because
It's not the movement.
yeah, like my self-esteem and my validation has nothing to do with fucking Dove telling me that I'm pretty. I don't care. I don't care if you tell me I'm pretty.
And
that
also,
is not
what
the liberation
is
of
pretty?
women.
Like, what is pretty now?
Who cares?
Who created the standard?
But I don't even care. I don't even care about any of that shit because that's not the most important issue within the female liberation movement. The women's liberation movement is not about the Kardashians having unattainable beauty standards and now I'm feeling sad. Like, who cares? It's the esteem of your motherfucking self, as Cat Williams once said.
No, not Cat Williams.
So that to me is it's not meant to be the thing that we focus on in this movement.
Then what is? Like, what would you like to have said, and by whom?
Well, I want women to have easier access to healthcare.
Yeah.
Specifically when it comes to reproduction
Yeah.
and like
there needs to be breakthroughs in
yeah,
reproduction.
because you telling me that period cramps are equivalent to a heart attack.
Crazy.
The pain of a heart attack, and we just out here experiencing
Yeah.
this shit since we're like 13,
And how many
14.
girls are walking around undiagnosed?
Exactly. PCOS, nobody knows why. Nobody can fix it.
Yeah.
Now,
They're just like-
friends.
Go on the pill. And
Yeah.
then that has side effects of its own.
Exactly. All of
Yeah.
this stuff has like major side effects.
Yeah.
I was reading about like tampons and how bad they actually are for you because it's like whitened and like the fabric that's used and so on. Putting that into your body is not good for you.
No, not at all.
So now
That implant thingy, the worst.
Ah!
The worst.
so like I would prefer for those issues to be spoken about. The fact that lots of women don't even have access to those.
Yeah.
To like sanitary towels and like tampons and all of that stuff.
Why is that? Like, I still don't understand how condoms are just freely given.
Yeah,
Like, condoms.
exactly. You go into a UCT bathroom and there's condoms lying there.
Sex is a choice.
Exactly.
Right? But like, your body menstruates
Yeah.
monthly.
Yeah.
That's not a choice. It happens. It's
Exactly.
like an inevitability.
So that works on my nerves. Second of all, I think the fact that gender-based violence is so rife in this city specifically,
Oh, yeah.
the fact that people are trapped in like cycles of abuse and cycles of poverty,
Yeah.
and they can't get out of it, and you watch your mother abused by, you know, your father, and then you fall into an abusive relationship yourself, and it just continues and continues.
Yeah.
And you can't kick this man out because you rely on him financially.
Some people don't even know that they
Yeah.
are abused.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen Ellen Paki's story? So, and obviously it tells the story of Ellen Paki's and how she murdered her son, and well, allegedly murdered her son, but she got off for that on, I think it was like, what was the sentence? I can't recall. But the point is, she'd been abused her entire life. She'd been living in a system that was designed.
Oh, I think I do remember the story.
Yeah, that was designed to have her fail. And she, during the trial, in fact, she was assigned a therapist. I don't know if you can call it a therapist, really, but she was assigned somebody to speak to about like her issues and the community struggles that she'd been facing. And in an interview, she said that she didn't even know that what she was experiencing as a young girl was rape.
Yeah.
She just thought that that was a thing that happened.
Yeah.
And she was well into her like 30s, 40s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's just not spoken about. And it's not, I'm not going to say normalized because I hate that word, but it's not an open conversation that's being had with the younger community.
Yeah.
It's just...
Even the older community. Like, I remember when I was in clinic one time, I was there with this woman who had been raped by her husband continuously, like throughout their relationship. He was a drug addict and he would rape her in her sleep, like continuously.
Oh my.
And
What was she in for?
she had mental health issues.
Okay.
Like, I think she had like she had been psychotic for like a minute, but it was trauma induced.
Of course,
because of what had happened. And she was telling me how and I was saying to her like, do you have to go home after this?
To that man?
Yeah.
She's still married to him?
She's still married to him. She said she's a Muslim woman. She went to an imam asking for a divorce. And
It's
he
so
said,
difficult to get a fatwa.
yeah. And he said no.
On what grounds?
You can't be raped within a marriage. You have by marrying this man, you have consented to sex forever.
Yeah, there is that. It's extremely difficult as a Muslim woman to actually, because I was speaking to my mom the other day. I asked her like, what are the channels of intervention that happens if you have marital problems? Like, say for instance, I'm a woman and I want to divorce my husband, or he talaks me, he gives me one talak. What happens? Like, is there a program that you go in, or do you just wait for the other two?
Yeah.
Like, is it just a waiting game thereafter?
Yeah.
Is there no community?
Like, is there a trial period when the
intervention?
first one just disappears, like after 6 months?
Yeah, like a coupon or something.
Something. Yeah, no, this stuff is not, it's not taught. And there are so many times where women come out and they're constantly told, why don't you go to the police? Like, do you remember that girl that came out to say that her grandfather had raped her when she was a child?
Yes.
That imam or community member that was like,
You was a principal, babes.
Oh, yes, a principal. Yeah.
And like a well-known community member.
Yeah.
Taught
And
many young girls.
So many people came to his defense. He would never do it. I was like, why do you think it's so impossible?
Also, like, you weren't there.
Yeah. And the question that the thing that I always say to men who have this issue of like not wanting to believe a girl, I said, would you rather make the mistake of believing a girl was raped than make the mistake of siding with the rapist?
Yeah.
Like, which is worse to you? And I understand that being accused of rape is like a terrible thing for a man to experience. And
Being raped is a terrible experience for a woman.
100%. 100%.
Like,
And that's what people don't
weigh that
seem to
up.
understand. Like, I don't think that people understand the exact violation that rape is for a woman. Like, I watched fucking Rupi, what's his name? Kaur. I watched her do this TED talk where she was like,
She did a TED talk?
I think so. Where she was like, it's like a man came into my house and he violated my house and now I can't enjoy my safe space. And it's like, it's way worse than that.
Yeah.
You can move homes. You can't get out of your body. It's your body. You can scrub your body and change your hair color and exercise and get kakgebou. Doesn't matter. That body is the same body that got violated.
Also, it's got different effects on different people because
Yeah.
there's degrees of it and it's all bad.
Yeah.
Like, the degrees are all bad.
Yeah.
But some women become sexually not even emancipated, but like they just lose all inhibition. Because they want to just like scrub themselves clean of.
regain control by having sex when they want to, how they want to. Yeah.
Or the alternative is you just
Yeah.
have a fear
Yeah.
altogether.
Yeah.
And there's like no healthy conversations. That's another thing that's kind of missing from like the feminist movement. There are not any healthy conversations around sex and sexuality. I think like there's either, oh, you're going to be a freak, or, oh, you need to protect your modesty.
Yeah.
There's no middle ground or like healthy ways
Yeah.
forward for a young woman to navigate a sexual
Yeah.
space.
And I think also the way that we view like women's empowerment, specifically when it comes to sex,
Yeah.
and like being sexually liberated,
Yeah.
you still exist within a patriarchal system.
absolutely.
So even though you think that you are empowered, you can't 100% be sure of that because you still exist within the patriarchy.
Yeah.
So while you may feel empowered, you're still doing something for the sake of a man.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, like, you may be like, I'm gonna go have sex with everybody because I want to assert my autonomy and
Okay.
exercise my autonomy as much as I want. But at the end of the day, you're doing that for a man.
How so?
I mean, you're enjoying your autonomy or whatever, but it's still for the pleasure of a man.
Well, I mean, if you playing for the other team,
I mean, then it's okay.
or if you're like bisexual,
I just don't want men to get any gratification from our empowerment.
I mean, I agree on that front, but I think that, there are other ways to be sexually liberated. Like, for instance, why do people not talk about masturbation? Female masturbation specifically.
Yeah.
Why do girls not talk about masturbating?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like it's really weird, but I think so those are issues that need to be spoken about.
Yeah.
The one thing that really works on my nerves is people not saying the word rape and not saying sexual assault.
Yeah, the R word.
The odd word and SA. No, say the word SA.
That can be easily construed as South Africa.
I was SA'd. You were South African? Like, what?
Well, actually, that's accurate though if you think about it.
Yeah, kind of. But like, the word is supposed to
Yeah.
cause you to cringe. It's supposed to cause you to like be repulsed by it because it's a heavy word.
But I think like those trigger warnings serve as trigger warnings for people who have been, because I don't really know what it's difficult to know what triggers somebody because it's a trigger.
Yeah, every single time people have been like, trigger warning, this, and this. It's like, okay, but I'm still gonna get triggered just because you said trigger warning.
Yeah,
doesn't mean it's
and
not gonna be
because it's like on the thing. So I mean, what if I am the type of person who looks at the video first before I read the caption?
Yeah.
Then what?
And also, me personally, I want to know what my triggers are so that I can work through them.
But some people don't have access to like mental health outlets, so they don't even know that they're being triggered.
Yeah.
Or being set off.
Yeah. Understandable.
So, but then why would they heed a trigger warning in the first place? Actually.
Yeah. But my thing, for me personally, again, only for me. I understand for other people, shit's tricky. But for me, I want to know what my triggers are because I've been triggered by the most miscellaneous shit.
Yeah.
One time I was triggered by a guided meditation. Like, stupid. One time I was triggered by the sound of like the rustling of leaves on a tree.
Oh,
So,
I'm so sorry. That's actually a very nice experience. To
but
like,
what must I do? What must I do? Say, ban guided meditations and cut down all the trees?
Yeah.
I need to know what my triggers are so that I can get over those things. The
Yeah.
world is full of triggers. The world is full of terrible, horrible, traumatic shit.
But we can't force rehabilitation on people. Who
That's true.
Yeah, like people need to want to get over things, and I
Yeah.
think especially for things like sexual assault and rape, right? It takes a while, I would imagine. It takes a while to come to terms with what had happened to you.
Yeah.
Let alone deal with it.
Yeah.
Some people just don't.
Yeah.
Dissociation's a great thing.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
oblivion. Love that. Love
Yeah.
that for you, babes.
Yeah.
So
It's like a defense mechanism for a lot of women.
yeah.
Where they just completely forget about what has happened.
Yeah.
They blank out
Yeah.
and they tell themselves that they lied
Didn't
about
happen
it.
to me.
It didn't happen like
Yeah.
that. I chose to do that.
Do you think that there's a link between like, because what's that movie where that guy develops schizophrenia after being assaulted by his father? It's a movie. Do you think that there's a link between childhood trauma and
Didn't he become like a serial killer?
yes,
I know what you're talking about. I
Yeah.
can't remember the name of the movie. He was sexually assaulted by his grandfather.
yeah,
Yeah. I can't remember the name of the movie, but I did watch that one. But he was a serial killer.
yeah.
No, it was he was the brat that was like dragging gay guys. And no, not that movie. Oh, there's so many of them.
Yeah,
So many boys doing this.
true.
But what was your question? Do you think there's a link
Between childhood trauma and schizophrenia.
Likely, yeah. Like
Yeah.
majority of mental illness is like caused by trauma or like set off by trauma. There's also like a bunch that are drug induced.
Really?
Yeah, like if you're doing like hardcore drugs, like it's fucking up your brain chemistry. But most of all, it's like trauma or it's genetic, passed down from someone in your family that had
Yeah,
mental illness.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, gender-based violence in South Africa, in Cape Town specifically, is something that needs to be addressed on a much larger scale. That's
I think it's
massive
been
fucking
addressed though. I
issue.
think it's addressing is now over. The time for action is now. Like everybody knows that gender-based violence is not even a problem. It is the pandemic. It was the pandemic before the pandemic.
Yeah,
It needs to be, like action needs to occur now.
but what they don't want to do shit.
Yeah, I was watching Facebook Watch, believe it or not,
Wow.
and Shauna Five, the lady who wrote Ogat, she did this rant where she was taking a friend of hers to Muizenberg magistrate to lay a case against her husband, and the magistrate, she was met with so much insensitivity
Yeah.
by the Madge.
Yeah.
Like they just dismissed this
Yeah.
woman. And when she asked what will happen, like where do we go from there after she was helped reluctantly, might I add. They just sent her home back
Yeah.
to the abuser.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's like the thing that's so complicated within the law. And like I'm not a lawyer. Maybe it's a better conversation to have with Taylor because she
But
knows
the law,
this shit. She
the
understands
law
the shit.
toes the line between like what's right and what is good. They don't intervene. It's violence is an emotional thing, and the law doesn't deal with emotions.
Yeah, and if you are raped and you lay charges, the
Yeah.
burden of proof is on the state to
Yeah.
prove that you were raped. So the defense is obviously going to use everything in their power to prove that you weren't raped,
Yeah.
that it was consensual, by whichever means necessary.
Yeah.
You're going to have to go sit on that stand and be cross-examined by someone who's trying to prove that your story didn't happen.
Yeah, they're going to assume you're a liar.
Yeah, when you're already in a place where you don't want to believe that this happened to you.
And I mean, that doesn't beg the question. That answers the question why women just don't come forward.
Yeah.
Because
it's
why would
asking
you?
a lot. It's asking a lot, and I'm so tired of hearing that. I'm so tired of hearing people say women need to come forward. They need to come forward and speak their
Why
truth.
did they suffer for so
No,
long? Excuse me.
because if you
She
do,
went to the magistrate and they sent her back.
yeah, because also if you do open your beak, if you do say something,
Yeah.
you get hit with a defamation case. So now we're out here.
I want to know if there's ever been a defamation case that actually...
Yes, there's been one. Yes, many.
Really?
Yeah,
In the Republic of South Africa?
yeah,
People have money to waste.
tons. Yeah, people do have money to waste. What irks me the most is women who are gespin about it, about being friends with rapists. Them bitches that go on Twitter and Instagram and say, if I'm following a rapist, please let me know and I will immediately unfollow. I just told you. And you still following for some reason and
Also,
interacting with the posts.
My
Strange.
thing is, rapists give themselves away before even raping. You know, there are tendencies, there are conversations, there are complete giveaways. So like, if you're friends with a bra and he's talking about, this guy's a better man than me, if I were alone, doesn't that strike you as odd? Like, why would you entertain company of somebody who speaks like that?
Yeah. And also, like, why must I tell you? Why must I be the one to point out that the people that you fucking with ain't shit?
Yeah.
Why must I do that?
9 times out of 10, though, women are like rape apologists.
Fully.
Like, they will laugh with the best of them.
Yep.
And say, oh, yeah, she's asking for it. Like, what did she wear? It's disgusting.
Yeah.
But they all like to, when the 8th of March comes around for International Women's Day, gender-based violence,
Yeah.
9th of fucking August,
Yeah.
gender-based violence,
What-
and then they put their feminist coat back on the rack after that.
Because I remember when Uyinene was raped and murdered.
Yeah.
And it was a raw fucking time for everyone in the city. Everyone in the city was reeling. Every woman was broken by it because it was a young woman,
Yeah.
a young, like, beautiful
Yeah.
woman that was at university
And it could have
studying.
been anybody.
It could have. That's the thing. It could have been anybody.
She was anybody and she was everybody.
Yeah, she was a student at UCT, and it was too close to home for too many people.
Yeah.
And then all them bitches came out and said, if you know that I'm following a rapist, let me know. Tell me, and we need to stand together. Women need to stand together.
And then what?
And then I opened my beak and I said, bitch, I know who you know. I know who you friends with. I see you acting with them. I see you posting about going on adventures with them. Suspicious for someone opening their beak on Twitter right now.
Yeah, just keep quiet.
Yeah, if you were a rape apologist, just keep quiet.
Just keep quiet.
We don't need to hear from you.
Yeah.
Because there was also this one girl that she was all about GBV, feminism, blah, 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 whatever. Posted about it on Twitter all the time. Turns out the person that she was dating was on that Rhodes list of rapists that came out.
Oh, I know what you're referring to.
Yeah. Orcs.
And she knew.
She knew. And there were a few of her friends that came to her defense. And I was like, wow, this is interesting. Because if I scroll back and I scroll further on your Twitter, you were tweeting about how you care about women and we need to protect women, blah, blah, blah.
But I mean, there were conversations around, is she as guilty as him? Do we treat her with the same level of disdain as him? Or are we just shifting blame here? Like assigning anger. No, I mean it's a important conversation to have. Like, are we just assigning anger to people because it's a tiresome conversation to have?
If you are a woman, if you are someone that can understand the pain that a woman goes through by being violated in that way, how the fuck do you side with someone who did that to another person?
No, I agree entirely. And I'm not saying that I agree with the stance that she took, but there was this opposing view that did cause pause for me, because I'm thinking, okay, so now we're calling and cancelling this hun, and yet the guy
Yeah, no,
is on
that's
the
true.
side, like, bring him to light.
Yeah.
Because he's the one who
Yeah.
did it. She may have aided and abetted, well, not abetted, but like she made her bed and she slept in it with him.
Yeah.
But in the end, he's the one who did it.
Yeah. I think we just hold women to a higher standard because,
No, but fuck that.
yeah. But
Because it's also like, then it begs the conversation and the question, like, girl, women, we need to teach our men to do better. No, we don't.
no,
No, we don't.
it's not my fucking job.
It's not.
If I was your mother, maybe it would be my job.
But okay, yes, sure. But like, rather, if I was your father, I would teach you better.
Yeah, I don't trust them either, to be fair.
Truly.
Go watch some YouTube videos.
But like, where does the intervention come into place? Is it community leaders? Is it politicians? Like, how do we usher in a society that navigates the space?
Castration.
Fear. So you think fear-mongering is the way forward?
I believe in violence.
No, I look. It worked in some societies.
But I mean,
But also, like, look at certain, like, I think it's in Kuwait, where they use fear as a tactic to get people to, and yet the rape cases and the femicide there is
Yeah.
at an all-time high.
yeah.
So is that really a way forward to keep women safe?
But this is the thing, I don't know why men rape. So I can't give you an answer as to how to stop men.
But it's
being
not even about
rapists.
rape, though. It's like just in general violence towards women, disregard for women's rights. Where does it stem from, and how does it get fixed?
I don't know. I really don't know. But people must get mantraed out, I think.
Yeah. Or rather just buy the lipstick on the 8th of March. Just give Mac money. They'll donate
Yeah.
2% of the proceeds toward
Yeah.
Cancer Association.
Nah, I don't know. Like, when it comes to rape, I have very little empathy for apologists and for rapists themselves. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you apologize, if you
Yeah.
realize that you were wrong, and you come back and you say sorry. Because there have been tons of those boys.
Who come back and say sorry.
Yes, who come out and say,
I can believe that.
I made a mistake.
No,
Forgive
you
me."
didn't. And even if you did.
It's too late.
It's
It's
too
too late to
late.
apologize.
Okay.
Timberland said, One Republic said, it's too late to apologize.
But we don't want the apologies.
It doesn't
Damage has
fix
been
it.
done.
Yeah. Rape is a thing that cannot be fixed. It can't be fixed.
Do you think that you can come back from being a rape apologist, though? Do you think that there's a way? I watched this interesting video last night where do you follow Blair Money
No.
on Instagram?
No.
Smarter in seconds. Anyway,
Oh, yes.
so she's saying there's a difference between calling in and calling out, right? So
Yeah.
when you call somebody out, it means that you don't have a standing relationship with them.
Yeah.
And you're basically calling them out on their toxic behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if you do have a relationship with somebody and you feel that you can make a difference in the way this person thinks and possibly change their behaviors, you call them in.
Yeah.
So say, for instance, you know a rape apologist and you're like, hey, I find this problematic about you. And this person perhaps changes their ways or unfollows or whatever the case. Do you think that you can come back from that?
In my own personal experience of trying to enlighten people that I know, people within my life,
Yeah.
no.
No.
I think it's a very difficult job to try to change someone else's mind.
Also, it's like you have to have forgiveness of like a saint.
Yeah.
And it's too much to ask of a victim, really.
it really
It's too
is.
much to ask. Like, how a victim chooses to deal with the trauma is theirs.
Yeah. I don't know. There was this very, very controversial TED talk where they removed the likes and they removed the likes, the like to dislike ratio. And they also removed the comments of this video. But it has like millions of views, where a woman that was raped and the man that raped her did a talk together, where it was basically...
Voluntarily?
Yes. Where it was basically a reconciliation.
Oh no, that's not
he-
something I would be interested in
yeah,
watching.
it was, he raped me, but he's sorry, and he gave me the closure that I needed to continue.
What closure does one require? Okay,
I don't
actually,
know.
I don't know because like it's so personal.
Yeah.
It's different for everybody. So I suppose if she found a way to heal, I'm happy for her. But
I don't think that.
I don't think women should be should allow apologies unless they want to, and
See,
it shouldn't be forced on them.
Islam is so fun because
It's a great time.
Allah says, unless you have asked the person for forgiveness and they have forgiven you, God cannot forgive you.
Yeah.
So I really like that idea because lots of people must come ask Ma for me. They must come, and me, I'm gonna say no. I'll see you in Jahannam now.
But like, rape aside though, forgiveness is something that you need to first do on your own before you can give to somebody else. Like you need to forgive parts of yourself for allowing something to happen before you can forgive the person for doing that thing to you.
Yeah.
And not enough people talk about that. But like again, that's a conversation aside from rape because you don't allow rape to happen. Rape happens to you without consent.
Yeah.
So you can't even forgive yourself for that because you didn't even know.
Yeah. There's maybe like 10 people that I will never forgive. Even if they
That's a
beg
small
them.
list. I thought your list would be bigger than that.
I'm actually not as hateful as I seem, to be honest.
Your entire brand is hate.
Yeah, but I'm not as hateful as I come across.
Especially there are degrees. Like some people can, like I said, some people can come back from, and then there are just some people who are
Yeah.
beyond.
Yeah. No, I don't think that the victim should be pressured to come out and say anything because there've been plenty of times on Twitter where they've asked victims to say,
You don't owe anybody your story.
you really don't.
You don't.
You really fucking don't.
Especially like if you again in an instance where someone's like, tell me, don't ask the person to then tell you what happened.
Exactly.
Like, what do you think I'm telling you to unfollow for?
Yeah.
It's what you think.
Exactly.
I don't want to recount what happened.
Yeah. I think as much work as men have to do, women have to do a lot of work as well. They have to do a lot of work.
Society needs to do work on the perceptions of gender-based violence and, dare I say it, feminism in the 21st
I think
century.
that the entire movement, it shouldn't be gendered. Patriarchy cuts both ways. Yes, men have the upper hand and they get to enjoy patriarchy majority of the time. But it's not good for you either.
Yeah. It's a common misconception that men are the only ones upholding
Yeah.
the
Exactly.
pillars of patriarchy.
Exactly.
It's not.
Exactly. And this is the thing that we hear about all the time of we need to promote women into higher positions so that
And
women
then
exactly. So you want to be a woman CEO treating your workers like shit and underpaying people?
girl boss feminism, no.
100% no. It's a no from me,
It's a
dog.
no. I don't. What's wrong with not doing anything?
Smart thing.
What's
That was
wrong
the
with
video.
being a
That was
feminism?
that was the video that I sent you from Dolce Sloan. I don't know if you've seen her. She's like on Comedy Central. And she sometimes is on the Today Show with Daily Show with Trevor Noah, something like that.
Isn't that the late night?
I don't know the names of this.
But the
crap.
one that Trevor Noah's on.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she comes on a couple of times, but she's doing stand up and she says like, I can't be black and a woman at the same time. Like I'm black Monday to Friday, and then I'm a woman on Saturday, and then I'm fat on Sunday because even God rested. Like I was busting. I was busting. But like this is like what so many comedians like bring this up also. Like Bill Burr also spoke about this, where he's talking about like white women being like, you white privileged men in your privileged positions, and he's like, bitch, you in the hot tub with me. Like, what are you talking about?
Exactly.
But this is the thing, like white women are constantly crying about not getting what they want, and it's like, but that has nothing to do with feminism, girl. That has nothing to do with feminism. You not being able to be the CEO of a company and pay your workers.
You have daddy's money.
Yeah, that's not something I'm gonna be fighting for you. Like Hillary Clinton being like, I need to be president because I'm tired of the men being war criminals. I also want to be a war criminal.
Yeah.
How come only the boys
That's
get to
not
drone
the
strike
hero.
Syria? I also want to drone strike Syria. Bitch, I'm not voting for you.
No.
I'm not voting for. I mean, I'm not American, so I can't vote for
Do
you.
you
But I
remember how
don't
the
give a
girls,
shit.
and I will even admit, I was even rallying ignorantly after Kamala, knowing that she's a brown woman in such a high position.
Yeah.
And it was, I bought the sauce.
Yeah.
I ate the sauce. I was within the sauce. I'm thinking to myself, this is a brown person. I had like a sense of pride
Yeah.
seeing somebody
Yeah.
like that. But like there's more, representation's great and all, but liberation's much better.
Exactly. Shout out to Steve Biko for having the foresight.
Yeah.
Sadly, nobody listened
Shout
to the
out to
homie.
Winnie.
Yeah.
Shout out to Winnie.
Winnie said, I'm a necklace you.
Yeah.
And I don't care.
Now that's the
won't.
kind of feminism.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. She didn't care about nothing.
no prisoners.
Angela Davis.
Yeah.
With the AK-47.
Yeah.
And that's what we need.
Yeah,
That's
we
what
don't need Molly, what's her name?
No, Brittany, go home. Please.
Britney Spears?
No, I'm just a generic white lady name.
Oh, I was like, shame, Britney Spears.
Nah, but when Steve Biko speaks about black consciousness, he says
Yeah.
like blackness is not, it's not a color, it's not a shade of your skin.
Yeah.
It's a way of life. It's a movement. It's a consciousness. It's a revolution.
Yeah.
And I think that the same can be said for womanhood. Like, just because you are a woman doesn't mean I'm gonna support you if you do not represent
People
womanhood.
need to call women out more
Yes.
often. Like I don't know what it is about current feminism that people are afraid to say, oh, but you are being problematic right
Yeah.
now. Do you know when there was the whole Free Britney movement going on, it was alongside like the Free Palestine movement, and somebody literally tweeted Free Britney and then the hand emoji equals Free Palestine, and I'm like, what? What? Are you serious?
This poor white lady's in a very expensive house.
She's one person.
Nobody should be caring about this very rich celebrity. Yes, is it
person.
sad that she's under the control of a man?
That's
Is
a different conversation. Like that's mental health and like very
Yeah.
important. But like liberation.
Exactly. And this is the main issue with modern day feminism. And now I don't know if we're on the third or fourth or fifth wave. I don't give a fuck
Yeah.
which wave we're on. But the fact that we are still not focusing on the issue at hand, we're still not focusing on what we need to be focusing on.
Yeah.
It's so tiresome. You want to talk about the like feminism and shit, but you don't give a fuck about the women in Syria. You don't give
Yeah.
a fuck about the women in Palestine.
No.
War is a feminist issue.
Yeah. Do you know how many rapes happen
Yeah.
in like these coups?
Yeah.
That's like it's something that's so prevalent.
There are so many stories about these American troops that rape Afghan women.
Yeah.
That's not a feminist issue?
No.
That's not a feminist issue.
Why is
Oh.
it not discussed?
But let's listen to Malala.
Do you still
You
think she's
know
part
how
of the
I
CIA?
feel. She is a CIA asset. I'm 100% sure of it. That bitch didn't get shot. She didn't get shot. Sometimes
What
I spend,
happened to her?
sometimes I spend too much time on Reddit. Okay, I admit it. The thing is, though, it's just very strange to me how all of a sudden she's out here talking about women's education and how the West must come and help us out. Because it's so difficult for us brown folk to do anything because we're so uncivilized. Please can the white folk come and help us? Shut up.
We
Afghanistan
do not
was...
need aid from the West.
No, we don't.
We actually need emancipation from the West.
We 100% do. Now with the whole Ukraine situation.
Oh Lord. Are we really going there? Are we really going there?
I'm not gonna go there. But what I am gonna say is I'm so tired of these white reporters crying about white folk.
Yeah.
And saying, these are white people. These are white people we are watching get murdered. Isn't it sad? They aren't the brown ones we're used to seeing die. It's white ones
There's
this time.
nothing more powerful than white women's tears.
Truly. Truly. And then they want to be like, yeah, I mean, this is a civilized country. It's not uncivilized, like the Middle East. I said, friends, do you not remember the Islamic Empire? Do you not remember
Yeah.
the Age of Enlightenment while y'all were in the Dark Ages?
Yeah.
Enlightenment was spreading through the Islamic Empire. Y'all didn't
They
know
wanna hear
about
that.
algebra. Y'all didn't know about nothing.
They do not wanna hear that.
You came and you stole from the Islamic Empire. And then you went running around talking about gravity. Meantimes,
Another thing that also doesn't get spoken about enough is how people think that Islam specifically is an oppressive force to women. How is that?
no, it's not.
There are leaps and bounds around like tradition in certain countries, but that's not the basis of the religion.
Yeah.
And we don't oppress our women.
Yes. There's nothing oppressive about
There's
this
nothing
religion.
oppressive about the religion. Wearing
The-
hijab is not. It's not an oppressive thing.
Yeah.
If they actually took the time to listen to the women who
Yeah.
are wearing, they would know.
The-
But they just assign this.
Surah Baqarah, like one of the first the first surahs of the Quran says there is no compulsion in religion.
No.
Any idea that it is oppressive is
Yeah.
immediately it's finished.
Like
Allah
the
said you
West-
don't have to if you
the
don't want
West
to.
just assigned this type of oppression on Muslim women
Yeah.
and said, "Oh, it must be so hard for you." I didn't say that.
No, it's not.
Who said that?
Because the women that we have in Islamic history are phenomenal.
Scholars, bro.
Phenomenal. The wife of the Prophet. I'm actually named after the first wife of the Prophet because Taahirah was his nickname for which I love. Gang gang. But she was a holy Thai CEO.
Yeah.
She was out here making her money.
Yeah.
Gary V could never. She was really a hustler and he was working for her.
And then they have the audacity to say that we're like old school,
Yeah.
like too traditional. We keep our women down. No, we don't.
we don't.
No, we don't.
And then he was like, the Prophet, yeah.
Well, I was.
I can't speak so fast. So he was like, listen, I need to go be a prophet and sit and philosophize. But this was before he was a prophet, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was before he was a prophet. And he was like, I just want to philosophize in the fields. Like, I just want to, just chill out and
Yeah.
think. And she was like, yeah, go off.
I got you.
I'm gonna make my money. I will provide for us.
Yeah.
You go do you. Now, how are you gonna tell me that my religion is oppressive? How are you gonna tell me
Yeah.
that? And even in the construction of the Kaaba, like the Haram, like it's the Hijr Ismail, which means like the skirt of Ishmael's mother. She was a black woman, and it said that she is buried over there. So when you make tawaf, you have to do tawaf 7 times. You walk past her grave 7 times and you send salam to her 7 times. She is the only woman that is given that blessing of being like next to the Kaaba. How are you gonna tell me women are oppressed? How are you gonna tell me that?
White people will.
Yeah, white people will. They will come and tell us. But they'll go put on their Prada balaclavas. They'll go do that.
Yeah.
While telling us we can't wear a scarf.
Yeah.
You can fuck right off.
That's why I said that, like, it's so funny how they gatekeep feminism. It's like
Yeah.
feminism is this thing and this thing only.
Yeah.
And then fuck education, fuck liberation, fuck gender-based violence. It's look at my body.
Yeah. And that is the thing where it was all about body hair.
Yeah.
and
I got over my acne. I've struggled.
Oh,
What?
I
Here's
don't
a
shave.
can of Pepsi.
I don't shave under my armpits. Feminism. No! You just dirty!
Actually, no, actually, I disagree here. Like, if women don't want to shave, then let them not shave.
Fine.
Yeah.
But don't make it a feminist issue.
not.
If you don't wanna shave, if you want your body hair to grow out, if you whatever.
Eradicate the male gaze altogether.
Yes.
Stop saying, oh, I was expected to do X by the male gaze, and now I'm breaking out of that mold. Just break out of the mold.
Just lust the male gaze.
Yeah.
If you are not seeking male validation, you must emancipate yourself.
From mental slavery.
You need to
Shout out to Bob Marley.
truly. But you got to do that shit on your own. You have to
Yeah.
find your own validation.
And you don't need permission. Like, you really don't have to go on Instagram and say that,
No.
oh, this was a huge revolution for me. I'm happy for you, babes.
yeah.
But keep up with that and stop expecting likes
Yeah.
by dudes.
But that you
And
if you
people
want
to
to
clap
talk
hands for
about
you.
if you want to talk about revolution, then have personal revolutions on
Yeah.
your own. Fight that shit on your own.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the liberation of women, we're not gonna spend time talking about body positivity
No.
and your acne and your body hair and
Yeah.
how Victoria's Secret doesn't make your bra size. That's not the most important thing we
No.
need to talk about.
Yeah.
There are so many issues that are bigger than this.
Yeah.
War is a big fucking problem.
Do you know another thing I saw online a while ago is how ADHD wasn't really diagnosed in women
Oh, yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
Because what manifested as ADHD in men was, you know, hyperactivity and like not be able to focus. When women exhibited similar symptoms, they were just viewed as ditzy. Like,
Yeah.
oh, she had her head in the clouds.
Yeah.
She was a manic pixie dream girl.
Always.
Meanwhile, she had ADHD.
Yeah.
She needed help.
Yeah.
But no, hyperactivity in men.
Yeah. No, I read The Ball Jar by Sylvia Plath a little while ago.
Yeah.
And it was like on my list for a little while. It's supposed
Yeah.
to be this great feminist novel. Me personally, I was like, oh, white girl has
So
depression.
Sylvia Plath is like the poster girl for white girl feminism. isn't it?
Yeah. And it's like, okay, you have mental health problems. I'm sorry you have depression.
Yeah.
But it's not really clicking for me.
Yeah.
Regardless, though, it is an interesting view of the world of women during that era where they got like electric shock therapy and shit like that to deal with.
Lobotomies?
No, the ones where they put the things and they shock you,
Oh.
like in Requiem for a Dream, like what the mommy
Oh, that
gets.
thingy. Oh,
Yeah.
Fun times.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I think that there needs to be more. There needs to be more science involved in women's liberation, like for real.
Do you know the map of the clitoris is quite new?
Yeah.
It's like in this century.
Yeah. Also, the fact that women
How
can.
they not know?
I'm- Sure.
Women have been birthing from yonder.
Yeah. Literally from the beginning of time.
From the beginning of time. How did they
Yeah.
not? How
You-
was it not important?
You go map out the whole ass world. The whole ass world. And not know? Confusing. But the fact that like women can miscarriage multiple times.
Yeah.
No answers given.
None.
No, you don't get told why. You
Death in birth.
Yeah. Nobody knows. Oh, accident. Sorry,
Yeah.
bye. Try again.
What is it? Postpartum.
Yeah.
Postpartum. It's so common,
Yeah, no, it is. It really, it's pretty bad.
and people just expect you to get
you
it
must
and
just
get
cup
over
on.
it.
You must just cup on.
How?
No,
The
guys.
girl?
No. But listen, y'all, we really need to discuss body positivity
Oh
and the esteem of your motherfucking self.
no. Yeah.
Because I don't know how you're doing without these Dove ads telling you that you are in fact
Oh
pretty.
my goodness. There's so much more one could be than pretty.
Exactly.
You could be.
Exactly. The way that I look is the least important
But I
thing
mean,
about
look.
me.
I mean, it's nice. It's nice. It's nice to feel pretty.
Yeah. It's
But
also
that is a personal thing again. I'm like, it's a whole aside conversation.
revolution is also nice.
Yeah.
You know? I felt my prettiest burning tires personally. Personally, I felt my
It's great for the skincare.
I felt my most empowered running away from rubber bullets. That's when I really come out with a line for a riot way.
But you feel like I feel like people are going to assign revolutions to themselves and do as they please in general.
Yeah.
Then you can't spur people to care.
Maybe this is a very cynical point of view, but I think the revolution is dead. There's no revolution.
I disagree. I think there is, but I think that it's not going to happen overnight. It's not.
I really
Not
hope
even
so.
within this decade. Perhaps
Maybe if they nuke, just then we start again.
You just want to cowl everybody? Bro.
No, I'm not gonna say it. But imagine that the Western powers just nuke each other, and we lumming in the global South here. We got access to our own resources now. No more white people stealing our diamonds or our energy or
Our
nothing.
land.
Nothing. Wouldn't that be so much better?
Yeah.
I oppose war. I don't like war.
Disclaimer.
However, I'm gonna try my best not to get nuked by Vlad.
War
War
is great for economy. People don't talk
Yeah.
enough about, like, they're like, oh, it's so bad, it's so bad. Do you know how many enterprises get capital from war?
Yeah. The military industrial
Everybody's like,
complex.
oh, we don't want war, but then
You do
meanwhile,
want war. Why are you going there then?
you're creating missiles in the backyard.
Yeah.
And then, oh, by the way,
Yeah. I mean, I could go deep into Ukraine, but I don't smack again.
I don't have the capacity. It's above me now.
It's tiring. It's really tiring to talk about Ukraine. But I just feel like we need to start talking about the real issues when it comes to the
Dove
women's
soap?
liberation movement. but yeah, I think that the revolution is dead. I think that we're not going to get a revolution.
Yeah.
For black people, we are not going to get a revolution against capitalism. We're not going to get a revolution against anything. I was hoping and praying that COVID would be the thing that sparked people, because
Do you think but maybe not revolution, right? But maybe a change. It doesn't need to be a full 360, maybe a 180.
I don't think so. I have very little faith. I have very little faith because the way that it's going now and the focus that people put on certain things, it's like I don't see it changing. Especially because the way that people have built their opinions and will not change their opinions regardless in the face of like any information. People get stuck in echo chambers and they believe what they're gonna believe and they don't care.
That's true, but also like look at your own personal impact, Taahirah. Like you've done so much. You have.
Done fuck all.
To you. To you.
I ain't done shit.
But you did that. Like, that's what you did.
But I was hoping that COVID would be the tipping point, because in times of economic strife, that's usually when there is political
People
uprise.
need to be uncomfortable. I
Yeah.
don't know why people fear discomfort so much. That's when one grows. Like, you need to crack a few eggs to make an omelette.
100%.
You need discomfort.
And I was hoping so many times that we were going to be on the brink of a revolution, that we would be able to. But number one, we
weren't uncomfortable enough.
We weren't,
for that.
100%. There is too much, especially in South Africa, there are too many people within like our generation that are building within a capitalist system, building towards something, and they don't want to let that go.
Yeah.
That's why every time there is a fees must fall movement, they were protesting about fees like a few weeks ago. Now it's finished again.
We in Cape Town.
At USD.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't even hear about it because it was finished. Over in like 2 seconds.
But any results from it?
No.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Because the thing is, like, people want to move.
Yeah.
They see, I mean, especially if you're coming from a family that was affected during apartheid, which was like basically everybody. And you have parents that have never had the capacity and opportunity that you now have. You don't want to waste that fighting for a revolution. During apartheid,
and it's tiring. Like, for our generation especially, it's so tiring to expect us to usher in a change. We have to combat racial segregation. We have to combat housing, gender-based violence. It's so much that's just racial, and we're just trying to survive.
But that's also a reason that I think that we focus so heavily on stupid culture war issues, because the big issues are too big. Like, we're not going to overthrow the capitalist system. We're not going to overthrow the patriarchy.
No, not today.
We're not going to do anything like that. So let's fight about stupid shit. You know, let's fight about what some dumb celebrity said on Twitter that's now problematic. Let's argue about that and cancel some people because that will make us feel better. Canceling a couple of celebrities is not going to bring down no system.
Canceling celebrities is such a funny thing because how are you going to take something so personally?
Yeah.
From something someone else said, not
Yeah.
even to you.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw, you know the girl from 90210? The I don't even know what year it was. But she was the curly haired one. The blonde curly one. She made a poem.
Oh no.
She made a poem for Vladimir Putin.
I saw people talking about it. And she said something about like,
Yeah.
if I was your mother, I
Yeah.
would love you more.
That was the I need to
That's
find it.
that's my favorite brand of white girl
love
feminism,
it
where
too.
they're
I
like,
really
oh,
love
just
it too.
we gotta all love each other in peace.
Yeah,
peace.
Let's sing Imagine.
World peace.
God.
I'm sorry.
Poem to Vladimir Putin. Listen. Let's
Julia Rob Hurt. That's basically what it gives. It's Julia Rob Hurt. People
Yeah.
peep, she died. It doesn't have
did
any
that
impact
say?
in the long run.
What did he say? Oh, you talk about 21,
Yeah.
22 Justice. What did he say? How does it go?
I don't know, so that was just the most important part of But if we're going to talk about Julia Roberts, like if I could be a white woman, I would be Julia Roberts. Not going to
For
lie.
sure.
Entirely. Like she's my favorite white woman.
Military attack on Ukraine. Former
I want to listen. Just show me the video.
The arms of joyous light.
Wait, hold up.
I'm so sorry that I was not your mother.
White
If I
women
was
need
your
to
mother,
stop
you would have been so
apologizing.
loved, held in the arms of joyous light. Never would the stories plight the world unfurled before our eyes, a pure demise of nations sitting peaceful under a night sky. If I was your mother, the world would have been warm. So much laughter and joy, and nothing would harm. I can't imagine the stain, the soul-stealing pain that the little boy you must have seen and believed, and the formulation of thought quickly taught that you lived in a cruel, unjust world.
Can I please just remind everybody that Vladimir Putin is not the only war criminal on this planet. Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden,
Why are people
Obama.
not writing poems for them? And also,
Yeah.
I don't understand. Sometimes, right? Sometimes people are just bad people. We don't need,
Yeah.
like, sometimes they were loved by their parents.
Yeah, how
Sometimes-
do you know?
Sometimes they were loved and they had a great upbringing and they were
Exactly.
just turned out to be horrible people.
It goes like that.
People can be horrible people without origin stories.
I just think writing a poem for Vladimir Putin is so stupid.
But it was very entertaining.
It was.
Rupi Kaur is shaking right now.
She's been real quiet since that one.
Truly.
Really, for real. Charles Bukowski wishes.
He wishes he had the range.
Leonard Cohen wrote poems for Hitler, actually.
What?
Yeah, I have his...
Any good?
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
Okay.
But it's way better than that shit. But it's also on the buzz of like, oh,
Well, she's
Hitler,
an actress, bro.
I wish
Did
you
you
weren't this way. Why did you have to kill all
Why
the
oh
folks?
why? Why oh why?
It's like, don't be dumb, okay? There's a reason. Let's just be smart about this.
People need to stop trying to understand war criminals.
I disagree. I think we should understand war criminals. Because how the fuck do you stop a war criminal if you don't know what one is? You know, like saying that Hitler was just like a sociopathic, genocidal maniac doesn't do any good for the world. If you understand the reason that he was doing that, you understand
But what
the
is
history
like
behind
to
it.
what end?
So that we can know when to spot a dictator.
And then
And next time,
we elect dictators.
next time you don't accept someone into an art school, you maybe think this could be another Hitler. Let's not do that, you know? Yeah. But then again, if it weren't for Hitler, what would colored boys drive? There would be no VW. What would Sea Point Promenade be filled with?
Hondas. Honda VT. Love.
Shout out to the Japanese for that one.
Really.
Yeah, we could have done without Hitler. We could have actually. I was thinking that VW was like a solid. It was one of the better things that came out of that. I mean, if we're trying to find the silver lining, it's like half of a colored boy's identity is a VW,
Yeah.
GTI.
And now Air Jordans.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, fuck feminism, I guess.
Yeah. I still have hope though. I'm
In
going
what?
to I'm going to be optimistic about this.
Go ahead. Optimistic in what?
I think that like people are like realizing things. And maybe it's gonna take some time, but people
It's going to take some time to realize.
it's gonna take some time and information, purposeful research, and people will come to know what it's really like. If not come to know, they will experience. Nothing teaches you better than experience.
But now we're all going to go into the metaverse. So what's the point? Someone was like, why can't we fight this nuclear war in the metaverse?
You
Good
kidding?
question. Why not give it
Get
a
a
go?
COD. Just
Yeah.
dial into COD and
Yeah.
Fine.
Let's have World War III on Meets. On Google Meets.
it's wild
On
how you can like
Hangouts.
I saw somebody tweeted something about you can watch a live stream, but first you have to watch a Domino's ad.
Yeah.
That is wild.
I mean, you got to make some
Capitalism
ad
doesn't
revenue.
sleep.
Yeah. Capitalism goes and goes and goes.
Yeah. It infiltrates everything.
That's why I say there ain't no way the system's gonna fall. We need like a massive volcanic eruption or an asteroid or nuclear warfare.
Resources are finite.
No, not in the metaverse. What are you talking about?
Oh, true.
We go moving to the metaverse now. Isn't that gonna be fun? It's gonna be like in Black Mirror. Do you know I was watching Black Mirror as a comfort the other day. I was like, I'm tired of looking at Ukraine. Let me go watch some Black Mirror.
Why would you watch Black Mirror as comfort after looking at Ukraine?
Because Black Mirror is better.
Did you get comfort?
I really did. Everything seems so terrible. Because literally, like, you on TikTok and you're like, it's war, dance, euphoria, war, Donda.
What kind of content creation is happening around Ukraine on TikTok?
I bet they're doing some dance for Ukraine. I'm sure of it.
Oh no!
But like the other day, I was like,
remember that part of the pandemic where people were just clapping for health workers by their
weird.
windows?
That's really weird.
Do you think they're gonna start?
Clapping for Ukraine. Well, me personally, I've learned some Russian terms so that if we are invaded, I'll be ready.
Do you think they're gonna come to South Africa?
No, I'm just getting ready for it.
Okay.
Because
I mean,
gotta
stay ready and you have to get ready.
Привет means hello. Das Vodanya means goodbye.
Okay, keep the last one. Keep the last one.
Wait. I'll say it. Let's end this podcast with some Russian, in support
Of
of the Ukrainian troops and the Russian troops. I'm only joking.
I'm sure.
I'm joking about it. I'm just saying I'm getting ready for if I can already speak English. So if there's nuclear warfare and then we must be colonized by...
I don't think I could live... To be frank, I do not think I could live through a war.
We're not going to be involved. We're right at the bottom of the continent.
Truly, yeah, but like, let's just say World War and, utter devastation. I can't do it.
No, it's going to be very tiring.
I can't do it. No, I can't.
Imagine we must go to work.
They will leave. We will have to keep working from home.
Yeah, we will. Forever.
Forever.
Okay, here's some Russian saying. Это ничто means it's nothing. So when someone's like, oh my god, Niyaal, like we're on the brink of warfare, you can like, это ничто.
It's nothing.
It's nothing. Привет is hello. Das vidanya is good night. Das завтра is see you tomorrow.
Oh.
Что это means what is this. Это плохо means it's bad.
Keep that one.
Это плохо. Yeah. There's another one that's important. Осторожно means look out.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. So let's end today in saying До свидания.
До свидания.
До свидания. Peace out, guys.